Good evening, young Padawans and Padawans. It is I, the almighty Redneck JT. Welcome back to your Monday night. You know what that means. This week, 2 Ewoks in the park with JT and Sully. We're going to have some fun. Darth Maul is what we're reviewing right now. Episodes 3 and 4 tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. So grab your favorite beverage, whatever it is you like to munch on. Sit back in that beanbag chair and tighten them straps down because it's going to be a bumpy ride, my friends. It always is. Sully, let's get it rolling.
Yay, let's do it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ewoks in the Park. Like JT said, we are going to be going over Maul Shadow Lord episodes 3 and 4. Because, well, they're only 30-minute episodes. Yes, there's a lot in them. And yes, it's very detailed. However, the two of us are going to kind of do like a nice conversation piece of these episodes. Kind of like what we did last week, where we take key elements of these to make you go, oh, really? You know? Because that's what we do. That's what we do.
That's what we try to do, anyway.
It is true. And again, like I said, there's a lot of detail. So there's a lot of things going on.
I mean, we could probably do an hour to an hour and a half on each episode.
Oh, yeah, with all the details? Oh.
If we wanted to. That's how much stuff they pack into these episodes.
Yeah.
And they manage to do it without overwhelming you.
Yes. Yes, that's the beauty of it. You know,
yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Dave Filoni, and Dave we trust, which I will always say when it comes down to Star Wars, it gives you that really good Bad Batch vibe, as well as Clone Wars vibe, where it's, like JT said, it's not overpowering. There is a lot going on, yes, but it's so fluid that it just leads you from one to the next, all the way to the end of the episode. And so far, even with the first 2 episodes, now granted, JT and I haven't really rated them high. They're still very good episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I gave it, what, a 2.5 and a 3.
Yes, you did.
And you gave it, I want to say, a 3 and a 4.
Yeah, something like that. Or 3.5 for one of them. I don't remember. It was a week ago.
Right. Actually, less than a week ago. But, yeah.
It was all blended together is what it was.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, but leading up to things, obviously, we're still on Janix. The entire story mostly takes place on Janix. Okay? Yes, we see, going off world here and there, but we have Devin Izara, who is a Padawan, currently on the run from Darth Maul because she escaped captivity. And
well,
I was about to say, I think I know where you're going.
I have an issue with one word that you use there.
Escape.
Yes.
Yeah. Done on purpose.
Yeah, he let her go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt that he let her go. Oh, real quick, Miss Nikaya is in the chat room.
Yes. Hi.
She didn't give any reviews last week because she hadn't actually watched them. She said she would give episodes 1 and 2 both a score of 3.
Okay, that works.
And she said she just got done with them. She actually missed episode 4. I said, you'll be okay because there's no major spoilers in episode 4. So she'll be all right if she stays with us tonight. Mm-hmm. And she also said, back up, what is her name again?
Devin Izara.
Devon.
Yes. Devin Izzara. Now, you're probably saying, wait, what? Trust me. They don't really call her Izzara. They just call her Devin. Okay?
Yes.
And Devin, for those who are up with the Star Wars lore, is a Twi'lek. Okay? That's why she's got the
She's like Ahsoka.
the tentacles. Well, kind of.
I said
Ahsoka's
like.
yes, you did. You did. But her Jedi Master is Iko Dio Daki. Say
We're
that
just going to call him Daki.
5 times fast and you're good. But yes, everybody calls him Daki. So when it comes down to it, this episode, bless you. That's great. So this episode obviously has to do with it's not a full center on Devin, but you can see Darth Maul is starting to have that influence on her.
Yeah, she's definitely starting to question
Yes.
things more than she did before.
And questioning is okay. What is going on? Ugh. Okay, anyway. But when it comes down to it, she obviously doesn't hide the fact that she's force sensitive. She doesn't hide the fact that she's a Padawan. She can fight. We know she can fight. The other captive, Mr. Vario, little short guy, one of the criminal underworld,
Looty.
yeah, Luti Vario.
Looty.
Obviously is shocked that she was able to escape, and the Mandalorians are doing their thing, and she walks right by them, and there is Maul. Now, one thing that's kind of been bothering me, and
What's that?
I can't remember if it's because of Clone Wars or Rebels or after the fact.
Okay.
They don't call him Darth Maul.
No, they just call him Maul.
They just call him Maul.
Well, let's see if I can find anything on that.
Now, my thoughts on this is the fact that because he doesn't have a master anymore, that the purge is probably the reason that he doesn't have Darth in front of his name anymore. I'm not
Would
sure.
you like to know exactly?
I would, because it's kind of been bugging me.
Maul dropped the Darth title
Mm-hmm.
in his name because it signifies a rank within the Sith Order.
Right.
After he was defeated and replaced by Darth Sidious, who cast him aside to take on Count Dooku as his new apprentice,
Right.
he was no longer a Sith. He became an independent dark side user and a crime lord, abandoning the Darth moniker.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
It makes much more sense now, which again brings me back to Clone Wars, because that's really where everything happened. Because Sidious went after both of them, him and his brother, killed his brother, and that was it. So it was kind of bugging me a little bit of why they just call him Maul, but it makes sense. Ahsoka doesn't associate with the Jedi. Very strong and sensitive in the Force, but she's not a Jedi.
Right.
But she's still...
He's still an apprentice, though.
No, she's not.
Oh, we're not. Oh, who are you talking about?
Ahsoka. Devin is still an apprentice. Yes.
I was like, I missed the Ahsoka part.
Yeah. Devin is still an apprentice. And which I don't know how well that kind of works because the Jedi Order is gone. So to me,
But I mean, I would think as old as Daki is,
mm-hmm.
and as long as he has been within the Order and everything else, even though the Jedi Order,
yes,
as it was known, has been destroyed,
mm-hmm.
I would imagine that any Jedi still alive, whether they had an apprentice or not, would still try to abide by the Jedi
right
rules and guidelines or whatever you want to call it. So he's trying to think, in my opinion, Daki is trying to keep things as normal as possible in an extreme situation.
Right.
One, in order to give himself peace, a little bit of peace, as well as to transfer that down to Devin and keep her in that same realm as well.
Absolutely. And the reason that I'm bringing this up, and this basically has everything to do with this, is the conversation that Maul has with Devin. This conversation, obviously Maul is looking for a new apprentice.
Right.
However, he's not a Sith anymore. He has no allegiance. He still uses the dark side of the Force. He could technically still teach anybody that he wants. Devin, a Jedi Padawan anyway, never made it to Jedi Knight. The Jedi Order had the Great Purge, which was Order 66.
Right.
And he compares her to him, stating that we are exactly the same. Now, at first, and I don't know if you got this vibe, but I certainly did. When he said that, the first thing I thought of was he's right. They are exactly the same because, and this is just, again, my theory on this, with the Order 66, the Order was to take out all remaining Jedi, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the only reason why it was that is because of the Sith only had two.
Right. The master and his apprentice.
A master and the apprentice. Now, does that mean that there are other, Sith teachings out there? Yes, Avage Avage Centris. Wow, I can't even freaking. Holy crap! I cannot pronounce their names. Jesus Christ!
Welcome to my world.
Wow.
But while you're recovering, Nakai wanted to say one more thing about episode 1.
Yep.
She says, I loved how at the end of the episode, how Devin, that she just said Maul, and that was the end. She just liked the way that episode ended. I'm with you on that, Nakai.
Which is good. The other thing is, and I gotta get this name. Ventress. That's it. Asajj Ventress.
There you go.
Yes. She obviously was Count Dooku's. So you have, and this is how the Sith work, by the way, because Sidious originally had Darth Maul. Darth Maul survived, clearly, but was replaced by Count Dooku. Darth Maul had his brother, okay? Count Dooku had Asajj Ventress. Order 66 happens. Dooku's dead. Asajj has no master now. Maul's brother's dead. The Order 66 is going to take out the remaining Sith too, because they're the ones powerful enough to take him out, right? they would fall under Order 66 because they are force sensitive. And with the attack, well, not with the attack, with Order 66 at the end of the Clone Wars, Maul was on the ship with Ahsoka, and they were going after him too. So Sidious was one of those guys that went, nope, no loose ends. No loose ends. Even Darth Vader had an apprentice. Yeah, that's right, folks. Darth Vader had an apprentice. Aside from Ahsoka, he had Star Killer. Mm-hmm. Don't believe me? Go play The Force Unleashed. Because you play his apprentice. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Now.
Yeah.
Now, Devin flat out said, no, we are not the same. You are a murderer. Not wrong. A criminal. Not wrong. But he flat out says, no, no, no. Push all of that aside. We are survivors. The difference is I had to do whatever I needed to do in order to survive. What are you going to do? And I loved when he said something like that. Now, mind you, these are all verbatim. It's not verbatim. It's all, paraphrasing. But that's basically what Maul did. He called her out on her Jedi bullshit. So what's next? What's next? Does she join him? Does she move on? That's basically what Maul is trying to do.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, he's not only messing with her mind, but he's also showing her that, yes, the Jedi Order taught you well. He never bashes the Jedi. At least I never got anything from that he bashed, like, the Jedi were wrong and all that. Like, I never got that from him. Did you?
That was what he was going to do to Devin?
No. Like, he never actually said what the Jedi taught you was inferior to the Sith.
No, he just said it was wrong.
He just said, it
was deceptive.
Yes, there you go. Deceptive. Now, in my opinion, maybe you can back me up on this one. In order to understand the Force, technically speaking, you should know all aspects of it, not just one or the other. How do you create perfect balance? How do you learn what a quarter is? Heads and tails. Just saying. Can't have one without the other. So when it comes down to it, this is basically what's happening. The mind games are going to continue. We know they're going to continue. And we also have Captain Lawson trying to figure out what the hell is going on and who's causing all this. And Two Boots, his droid partner, keeps questioning him.
Well, he's a machine.
Well, which is true. He is.
He's a machine. He works off of a certain protocol, and it is literally built into them.
Yes.
To follow that protocol.
Yes.
And the only reason he didn't follow it immediately was because he told him that's an order.
Yeah. Well, and he really, Two Boots really wants to.
Oh, he likes him.
Well, yeah. He's kind of torn if you think about it. Because he's like, no, this guy's been my partner for a while. Yeah. And even with that, aside from doing sweeps in certain sectors, another officer is like, guys, not for nothing, but this sounds like it's the Shadow Collective.
Right.
But Lawson disagrees with it. He's like, no, can't be. It's
Well,
kind
he
of,
thinks that the one guy suggested that they left.
yeah.
And he's like, no, they're still here.
They're
They didn't
around
leave.
because they would have known if they got off planet or not. It's yeah, they did get away, but they didn't have ships. They had speeders. You're not going to fly off planet with a speeder,
Yeah. And there hadn't been any ships stolen recently. So.
Right. So in the end, Two Boots does the whole, hey, you know what? Let me check the spaceport. Let me just see.
Yeah. We'll start with
which one?
We'll start with the spaceport because they're going to check all of the areas that the networks are known to work in.
Which makes perfect sense.
And I hate to do this to you. I don't want to sidetrack the show.
Oh.
But I have a question.
Yes.
Everybody says that Order 66 was to kill all Jedi.
I think it was to kill all Force-sensitive people.
No. I actually typed in exact wording of Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
Under this directive, any and all Jedi leadership must be executed for treason against the Republic. Any soldier that does not comply with the order will also be executed for treason. But here's the thing. It is only the Jedi leadership that is mentioned in Order 66.
Right.
It is not all Force sensitive. It is not all Jedi. It says all Jedi leadership.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you just like anything else, you got a problem, you cut off the head of the snake to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So, and people could be going off, well, as soon as this guy dies, this guy instant, just like in military, when the platoon sergeant dies, well, the sergeant in charge of first squad automatically becomes platoon leader.
Right.
Or platoon sergeant. I mean, there's an automatic ascension kind of thing. Maybe going off of that as a reasoning, I could see wiping out the entire Jedi Order. But according to this, and it's the same site that we're using for the reviews. Thank you. Mm-hmm. It was only actually the Jedi leadership that were targeted.
Which I could see.
So I would say that they took it to extremes at this point.
Well, and that's that's my other thing is like, because you and I have a very good understanding of what Order 66 did, right? And they were killing Padawans.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly my point.
Anakin killed Padawans. He killed younglings.
He went into the Jedi Temple and wiped out every kid in there. Just almost every kid in there.
Almost. The ones that survived became Inquisitors. And then some. Grogu escaped, which was even better. Because, man, that little guy, he can... Don't mess with that Mandalorian. He'll kick your ass. So it's, and that's
here's the problem with the internet. You ask one question, you get 6 different answers for it.
Oh yeah.
AI Overview says that it was to eliminate all Jedi.
Yeah.
Across the galaxy without question. But according to fandom, that's not the case.
I don't really trust fandom sometimes.
And like I said, I didn't mean to throw the show off track, but that just, I looked it up and I'm like, wait a minute, that's different from what everybody else is saying.
Yes.
So,
very, very different. So, I mean, in the long run, my initial thought is it's all the Jedi. And
Right.
and don't get me wrong, Darth Vader and the Inquisitors did their thing too. And let me tell you, no questions asked, Darth Vader killed them. Same with the Inquisitors. So when it comes down to it, you're still in the remnants. All hell's breaking loose, which Devin and Master Daki are on the list.
Right.
You know, they need to stay in hiding, you know?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But so does Maul. However, when Maul is discovered, he has no problem putting on a show.
No, he's a built-in scene stealer.
Yeah, he really is.
For sure.
And you know, all in all, when it comes down to certain things, you know, there's a lot going on with these episodes. The raid and the ambush with the land speeder chase, the Pike Syndicate is a big thing.
Well, it's galaxy-wide.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Pikes, everybody knew about the Pikes way before Clone Wars and Rebels and all that. You know?
Well, I mean, you go back to, was it Boba Fett, where he was dealing with the Pike Syndicate? I think even in Andor, they were dealing with the Pike Syndicate.
Yep. Pike Syndicate, Book of Boba Fett, they were dealing with the Pikes, as well as the Hutts.
So that goes to show, I mean, they were every friggin' where.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there were a couple of episodes of Clone Wars that involved the Pikes and whatnot. So, you know, when it came down to comes to shove, they were there the entire time, you know, operating in the shadows, you know. Now, at the same time, Maul, still messing with Devin's head, saying, listen, you know, I can help you with your training. Just saying, I can help you. You do good. But he also monologues her a lot. If you've noticed, it's a very, like, he's very talkative.
Well, and I think he's trying to prove to her, even though he doesn't have to, one, that he could definitely help her, that he's well skilled, blah, 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 and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But the other part is that he's trying to ease her conscience, I guess, a little bit, and show her that he's not as bad as everybody has made him out to be.
Right.
And you must admit, in 3 and 4, up to a certain point, he shows a damn near human side
Sure.
of himself.
Which is odd, by the way.
You know, I mean, just as an example, and I'm not going to talk about it, but when, you know, he starts talking to her and they're having tea.
Oh, yeah, the tea. Tea time.
You know, and he's just, you know, he's just talking to her. And to me, he almost seems human.
Well, and
during that conversation, you know, explaining to her why he is the way he is. I mean, they murdered my brother. They murdered my parents.
Yeah.
You know, and all this, and just trying to, and it was also his way of trying to prove to her that they were both that they were the same.
Yes.
You know, they were in the same situation and everything else. So
now the while that's all going on too, you know, Captain Lawson is also having some issues of his own, more family related issues.
it has issues.
You know, he's trying to balance a work life and a family life, and he's failing miserably. Because
he's a cop.
Is he? Because all his son Riley wants is for him to be a dad.
His dad, yeah.
You know? And he even shows up at one of Riley's games at a stadium, and he's like, yeah, I'm here. You know, I'm here. And then he leaves.
I'm here and now I'm not. Leaves right after the conversation with Master Daki.
Yep, because Master Daki had been following him, and he claims to be Devin's uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And even Lawson's like, uh-huh, do you know where she is?
Talk about some crossbreeding. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, it's Star Wars. It doesn't really matter what type of race you are. And notice how I said race in that sentence.
Right.
Because they're all aliens. Even the humanoids are technically alien because they're human, you know? But it gets to the point where even when Docky is talking to Lawson, he's talking and bringing up that there's extremely dangerous individuals that are moving along the chessboard here. And that's when Lawson's like, what do you know? What do you know about Maul? And even Docky's like, well, I've never met him personally. I've never fought him. I've never, I only know of the stories.
Right.
Don't mess with him. He was very, I wouldn't say he said like, don't mess with him. In a very Jedi Master way, it was, you don't want to get mixed up with him. And that's when Lawson's like, okay, well, what does he want with your niece?
I have no idea.
You and I both know.
He says that it is completely a case of wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. But at the same time, you and I both know that when he said he had no clue as to why Maul wants, he knows.
Oh, yeah.
Because a Jedi Padawan who survived Order 66 and is surviving the galaxy with her Jedi Master in hiding, very fragile. Very fragile. Okay? Mm-hmm. Docky is like her father.
Yeah.
Take him out of the mix. Oof. It's not going to be good.
100%.
It's not going to be good. But even Devin's having like reservations accepting Maul's offer of let me train you. She's like, no. But that's when things get really interesting.
Yeah. I'm actually proud of Devin and how well she was able to resist his offerings.
It's... I don't want to say it's the Jedi way, because we know it's not. Anakin turned, right? Anakin turned for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
For Devin, it's more of, okay, what can you offer me to help me survive where I'm at now that my master can't? Like, it's kind of like she's trying to play him at his own game.
Right.
At least that's what I was getting out of it.
Trying to figure out his true intentions.
Right. But then we have the issue of the Inquisitors.
That was the one offer that he made that I don't think Docky would be able to give her.
Yeah. Because who was it? I forget which brother it was. I don't remember if they actually named the brother. Oh, crap.
Well, we're getting really sidetracked here.
We are, but he makes an appearance in this episode. That's why I'm like, I don't remember his name. But they're the ones that hunt the Jedi. They work for Darth Vader. They're not really apprentices. They're not really Sith Lords. They are strong with the Force. They've been trained by Jedi. Now they're surviving on their own as well. Turn to the dark side, so to speak. But Devin flat out says, I'll take my chances.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances. And then she goes toward the surface. So again, details. The details are crazy.
Yeah.
Lawson doesn't want Imperial entanglements, but now he's got to deal with 2 Jedi and a Sith Lord. Not to mention the Shadow Collective. This guy has no idea what to do next. Two Boots isn't helping anything because Two Boots wants to tell the Empire.
Mm-hmm. Plus, he's got all the other syndicates to deal with. Plus, just everyday crime.
Right. So, I mean, if you think about it, for a captain of his stature, he is being torn 6 ways from Sunday, including but not limited to being a father figure to his son.
Okay.
That's where more shit hits the fan.
You could put it that way. Yeah.
Because now we've got a little trap in the works, which is all part of Maul's plan.
It's a brilliant trap.
Oh, very good trap. Where Vario is complaining about things as normal.
I'm hungry. Make the food.
The Pikes are coming back into play. The Mandalorians and the 2 Zabrak, all working for Maul, are there. And when Vario, I kind of feel bad for the little guy. I really do.
Yeah.
Well, here's why. No matter what he says, and again, a lot of the times you're not going to trust him because he's part of the crime syndicate. But the spy bot threatens his life in almost every chance possible. So,
the spy bot is definitely not a nice guy.
No, he's not a nice guy. Not like that Buck Cashman, you know?
Right.
But even Spybot, like I said, he looks like one of the alien species from Batteries Not Included, only bigger. You know, it's coming full circle, where Obadiah, if I remember that name correctly, I think that's the home world of the Pikes. Again, it's a moon. It's on the outer rim. I've noticed Dave Filoni likes exploring the outer rim, mostly because of the crime syndicates.
Well, and where are the crime syndicates going to work? They're going to work on the outskirts.
Yep. Right on the outer rim.
They're not going to sit in the main cities. They're not going to sit in the main suburbs and stuff like that. They want to be on the outskirts where they're extremely hard to find.
Yeah. Which is cool. And I've been saying this for a long time, that there's more to the galaxy than the Skywalkers, right?
Oh yeah.
I've been saying that for a very long time, and I'm so glad that they're doing stuff on the outer rim and bringing more characters into play. But Vario is like, hey, sorry, there was a disruption on Janix. A couple of rogue lieutenants, Nicodemus were,
they blamed it on Nicodemus's people after Nicodemus was killed.
Yeah. So obviously that got the Pikes all rah, 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 we're gonna rah, rah, rah. But at the same time, Marg Krim doesn't trust anything. And I don't blame him. He's a Pike guy. We get it.
He's been around long enough.
He's been around. He knows what's what,
Mm.
And I get this vibe from him, But he also Crim's like, listen, I know you're trying to set a trap. Just so you know, if I'm right, you're a dead man.
Right.
Again, the little guy gets threatened all
I
the
think
time.
it's something along the lines of if this is one of your schemes, I will have my men come and capture you and torture you and feed your remains to his whatever his pets were.
The Nexu. The Nexu.
Yes.
If you don't remember what a Nexu is, folks, it's like the cat-like rat-like creature from the Colosseum in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. Okay.
Big, sharp teeth, lots of eyes, looks like a tiger, but with like spikes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the tiger-like thing.
Yeah, and it's got two spiked tails. Those are evil bastards.
Yeah, not something you want to mess with, and definitely not something you would have as a household pet.
Right. And if you don't remember, it's the cat that tried to attack Padme while she was up on top of the post, and she was whipping it with chains. See?
And he liked it. Sorry.
Yep. Or if you really want to go more newer than that, go watch Bad Batch, because you had Omega and a Nexu situation where one was about to attack her.
Right.
So yeah, there's always that. Obviously,
Holy crap, we're 45 minutes in already.
I know. Like I said, there's a lot. We're going to do what we can. Workplace politics. You got Chief Cleese telling Lawson and Two Boots that,
Well, here's where Two Boots crossed the line, because he went to the chief. He went over Lawson's head.
Yeah.
And the chief is like, dude, get your clone under control, or your robot under control.
Yeah, but he was like, it's okay. He's just under a lot of stress. Droids don't get stressed.
Right.
Just saying.
However, recharge is refreshing.
But I will admit that even Chief Cleese is like, let's not get them involved. Once they're here, that's it.
I can only hold them off for so long.
Yeah. But Lawson's even like, well, I got patrols looking out for Maul round the clock. We got the situation under control. We're working on it. However, Two Boots takes a picture of him and Lawson and puts it down on the desk and looks at it and rearranges some things, and you could tell
he was I love it. The robot was put on desk duty.
Yeah, he wasn't very happy with that, though.
No.
Wasn't
Not
happy
at all.
indeed. However, toward the end of the episode now, Devin is climbing out of the pit and is going to the entrance. And unfortunately, Maul is in the way.
I love this typo. He knocks her to her feet, but she gets back up.
Well, I mean, technically, he did do that where...
No, he knocked her off her feet.
Yes, knocked her off, but she did get up. It was one of those, Jedi moves that, she went down and then basically flipped back up and went on the attack. I will say that the fact that he does scare her, he does. But even though he scares her, she has no problem fighting him.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like for a soldier going into combat. You know he's terrified.
Yep.
You know he's scared, but if he was trained right, his training will take over, and he will do what he's got to do.
Yes.
And that's what she does. Now, I will say, and again, we're seeing the softer side of Maul here.
Yep.
And we will find that there are reasons that he does this.
Yep.
But there were 4, if not 5 times that I can think of during this battle.
Yep.
That he could have killed her.
Oh, without a doubt.
Especially towards the end.
But like you said, he needs her.
Yep.
He needs
so
her.
you kind of see the softer side of him, but at the same time, it's the conniving side of him. So it's like, which way do you go with it?
Yeah. And, and I love that they ended it with him smiling as she runs away.
I like the line. I'll be needing that back. Thank you.
Yes. Because she stole the other half of his lightsaber.
Right.
Which was good. It was a good thing. But I love they leave you on a cliffhanger with each episode, which is fine. But it's the way they do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh boy. It really is. And mind you, so far these episodes are what, a day apiece? Maybe
no, I want to say a half a day.
Half a day, maybe, depending on what's what. Yeah,
I would say about half a day each.
All right. So when it comes to this episode, I believe it's my turn, right? I'm odds, you're evens.
Correct.
So with this episode, again, we're seeing a lot more action. We're seeing a lot more philosophical side of Darth Maul. And I'm loving it.
Maul, not Darth
Maul. For some reason, I will just always call him Darth Maul.
It's habit.
It's so hard to break. For me, especially the fight between him and Devin,
mm-hmm.
He knows more than he's letting on, which is awesome. I like that he's not a bad guy.
Right.
But I also like that he is the protagonist, the hero, so to speak. The anti-hero is what
he's not the bad guy, but he is the bad guy.
Yeah.
He's playing both sides of the fence.
Without a doubt. Now, I love the confrontation between Lawson and Two Boots. I love that they're butting heads with each other. Mm. I love that even the chief is like, get this under control, do what you need to do. But I really love the on-screen chemistry. Now, mind you, this is animation. I'm loving the whole Maul and Devin story. I really am. Like, I'm digging it, because you can tell even in episodes 1 and 2, she's like, there's something, we need to be able to do something, but we need to hide too. I get it. Again, a broken mind, not weak-minded, broken, very broken. This episode, I'm actually rating higher than the others. I'm giving it a 4. And I'm giving it a 4 because of the back and forth between Devin and Maul.
Right.
I'm loving it.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm waiting on Nakaya's rating as well. I'm on the same line as you are, basically. I truly enjoyed the tit for tat between Maul and Devin.
Yep.
I find it interesting, and that's why I mentioned this earlier, that you're seeing a softer side of him.
Yes. Even
if it is an act the fact that he is because you and I both know people who are just total assholes, and when they try to be nice, they fail at it completely.
Yep.
So, I give him credit for being able to show that side and make it believable.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Which is hard to do with animation, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything's hard to do in animation, and the Star Wars team that's done this so far has been amazing. The tit for tat between Two Boots and Lawson is also rather interesting.
Yep.
At one point when they were headed back to the office, and Two Boots is talking about, we need to notify the Empire. The Republic would have at least assigned a Jedi to handle this.
Sure.
And everything. And Lawson shuts him down, and Two Boots says, "I'm sorry, wasn't trying to supersede your authority."
Yep, true.
But the way people think that robots don't have or can't show sarcasm, I'm sorry, but Two Boots shows sarcasm big time, especially on that line.
Without a doubt.
I love the fight scene with Maul and Devin and everything else. I'm still sitting at a 3 on this one.
Okay.
Sitting at a 3, same place I was for episode 2.
All right.
But it's close.
Very close.
It's close to bumping its way up. So I'm giving it 3 lightsabers. Nikaya says, I am giving this episode a 3.5. So we have a 3, a 3.5, and a 4 for episode 3.
All right.
The episode was getting better than the first 2. I love the back and forth between Maul and Devin as well. And the end fight scene was awesome. Can't wait to see what comes up between the two of them. Maul is my all-time favorite character in Star Wars. Gee, I wonder why that is, Nikaya.
You think that's good? She should see Quinlan Voss. Oh, that man. That's a good Jedi.
She's going to be even more her favorite character after when she watches episode 4.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to get into that right now because episode 4, also known as chapter 4, Pride and Vengeance.
I'm sorry, chapter 4.
Yep. Well, comes full circle with Lawson because this is very interesting when it starts off. And like I said, a lot of this series is based on Janix. However, Ludivario goes to Obadiah to see the Pikes.
Is it Obadiah or Obadiah?
Probably Obadiah. Like Obadiah Stane, maybe Obadiah. Let me see. Normally it would say like some type of translation. But yeah, you're probably right. It's probably Obadiah. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
No. We're going to pass on that one.
Because Vario goes to the Pike homeworld and, does his thing. Only he says, Maul is here. That's what he said. Maul is here. Be on the guard. Be on lookout. He is here. No ifs, ands, or buts. No lies. It's here. He gets to the point where he meets up with Marg Krim. And supposedly they captured Maul.
Because he just so happened to have a stun gun.
Yeah. You think Maul is gonna fall for a stun gun? No. However, they bring Vario and the bound Maul to Krim's stronghold. And no, that's not Maul.
Yeah, it actually says in the first paragraph before they cut him down that it's Zabrak.
Yep, it's a Zabrak. Hooded, which again, that's what Maul is. That's his species. But it turns out it was Scorn instead, because he actually looked very close to Darth Maul.
Sorry about that.
However, Maul entered the room and killed everybody. I mean, that's really,
Not everybody.
well, true. Not everybody.
He left 3 alive.
That is true. He didn't kill everybody. But he did kill Marg Krim.
Oh, yeah. First and foremost.
He was the first one down and out. Boom.
Oh, it was pretty neat how he was able to pick up his saber, turn it on, spin it around, and pretty much cut him in half.
Oh, wasn't that amazing?
That was sweet.
That was just like dead.
And then all you saw was bam, him hitting the ground.
Yeah. And what I really liked about this was that the captain of the guard says, well, technically I'm in charge now. And Maul goes, no.
No, Maul put him in charge.
Well, yes, because, cut off the head of the snake, it needs a leader. Maul becomes the leader.
You're in charge, but you answer to me.
Yeah.
And I also like what he said before he killed, or right after when he knelt down next to Kim.
Yep.
You tried to kill me. You failed. This is what awaits all those who have betrayed me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Something about it just says, don't mess with Maul.
This reinforces what everybody already know.
Like, the fact that here you have the head of a crime syndicate going up against a Sith Lord, former Sith Lord. What makes you think you're going to take him out?
Because Pike think they rule the world. They think they are the dominant force in the galaxy, outside of, obviously, the Empire.
But don't do that, stupid idiot. Even I said, like, the minute they actually showed him threatening Maul, right? I'm like, you moron.
Right. How stupid can you be?
Like, that's like if Jabba the Hutt was still alive, right? Because we know he's dead in Return of the Jedi. That would be like Jabba the Hutt going to Darth Sidious and going, I'm going to kill you. No, you're not. Sidious is going to
choke you where you stand.
Yeah. Well, Sidious will have fun with him. He'll do the whole lightning thing first.
Yeah, true.
But even still, it's like, okay, enough with that,
Yeah.
But in the long run, obviously, he's now in charge of the Pike Syndicate. It's all under him. The Shadow Collective is getting rebuilt under Maul. Makes perfect sense, Meanwhile, on Janix, Devin is running into her Master Daki. They find each other. They embrace. They hug. It's all warm inside. And gives her lightsaber back, which was a good thing. She needed it because Maul kept taking his back. But he questions her on how she escaped. And even she was like, it wasn't easy. Also known as he let her leave. Like JT said.
Right.
Now, Devin is like, well, no, I know where his lair is. We need to bring him to justice. He needs to be taken off the map. But even Daki is like, pump the brakes.
Empire's coming. We need to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, we need to leave. Because Maul's appearance is going to draw the Galactic Empire to Janix.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to be good. And Daki knows this because we've seen it. They are on the list to be either arrested or killed.
Or both.
Or both. And you know the Jedi are going to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So you know it gives them ample opportunity for those stormtroopers to miss. And I say that, you know, because occasionally they'll have good luck, but they miss. So that way they can be killed. In this case, right. No. Daki wants off the planet. We need to leave. And he even tells her that they have a lot of mercenaries. It's not just Maul and his band of misfits. Now there's more. And that's when Devin goes, well, what if we work with Captain Lawson? What if we, what if we help him? What if we do what we need to do?
There are some good people here.
Yes. And don't get me wrong, Daki is all for it. Like, you know what? Lawson is a good person. We can trust him.
He's familiar with him.
Yes. Yes. Which that brings them to back to the police station or the defense HQ. It's not a police station. It's defense HQ.
The Civil Defense HQ.
Yeah. But he says, hey, there's an officer by the name of Wade who says to Lawson, hey, I got a tip from an Uncle Daki. Do you know Uncle Daki? That kind of sounds
Who's
weird.
Uncle Daki?
I didn't know you had weird. But he goes, okay, what's the location? And Wade flat out just says, it came from Sector 14Q. And that's kind of like a, red flag. Red flag. And that's where Two Boots says, hey, this isn't protocol. You need to do this. And he leaves the desk. And he follows his protocol, his programming.
Need to notify the Empire.
You need to notify them. And as they go in, Lawson kind of does a unplug.
You must follow the protocol of the Empire or else you're going to get in trouble.
I do like that Lawson said, I'm sorry, buddy.
Right.
And walked away. However, Maul is in 14Q, so is Devin and Master Daki, and they're waiting for Lawson to arrive, and they all need to get off planet. Maul is saying, let's work together to get off said planet. Makes sense.
Well, actually, he's not offering to work together to get off the planet. He's going to provide protection for them as long as the Civil Defense League will let them operate unimpeded.
Right.
From Janix.
Which is not going to happen.
Yeah. I love the counteroffer that Lawson gives.
Which was?
Well, you and your mercenaries will all drop your weapons, surrender, be taken into custody, and we will protect you.
Yes. And Maul
simply says, well, I knew you were going to say that. Have a good death.
Yep, you're going to die.
A good death.
Yes. Yes.
I like that line. I mean, it sucks, but I like that line.
But the other thing is with Maul, he even said, I'll even operate outside of the city.
Yep.
I won't touch the city.
Leave the city alone.
It'll be perfectly fine. Not bother Janek's city. However, we have a little bit of an issue. Obviously, Lawson denies the truce, which, makes sense. He's a cop. You don't want to do the quid pro quo thing. You don't want to have to owe a criminal anything of the sort,
And you don't want to be a dirty cop.
Yeah. So then it comes down to, all right, well, what happens next?
Bang, bang, shoot 'em up.
And that's when we get some more police force coming through. The mercenaries start open firing on the police. They we see a couple of them get killed, but we also see a interesting battle nonetheless.
Great.
Especially since Maul, who's doing his thing, is now going to go after Daki and Devon. Mostly because he wants to have Devon as an apprentice, but he can't do that until her master is out of the picture. What I love about it is he says some interesting things about this. Because he's encountered Jedi that have survived. But he also says that the Jedi should lead and be respected by all.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very interesting for a apprentice of a Sith.
Well, and that's the thing, though. He's no longer operating as a Sith.
Right.
He's still called a Sith because he was one. But he's now operating in the gray area between the land of the dark side and the land of the light side.
Yes.
So, he can see both sides of the fence in this case.
Yes. But that was kind of like the end of that, because that's when Maul just really starts going after Daki on the teachings of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, only a Sith deals in absolutes. They want power. They want, they go by emotion for their power.
And the fact that they don't use their power to earn their respect makes them weak.
Right. The Jedi use their power for others, to help others, to serve others. And that's when the Sith and the Jedi teachings kind of clash.
You think?
Well, I mean, they do clash, but but it was just what he needed. It's just what Maul needed to get Daki to respond in a way that a Jedi would.
Oh, he calls him delusional.
Well, yeah.
You're freaking delusional, dude.
Yeah. But Maul, without missing a beat, activates both blades of his lightsaber, and the fight begins.
Yeah.
Between the light and the dark. I will say that there are a lot of good lightsaber duels out there, from Clone Wars, the movies, the TV shows, everywhere. Mandalorian. When it comes down to it, most of the fights that Darth Maul is a part of are good.
Mm-hmm.
They are good. I don't know. I think it's that double blade. That's what makes the fight to me.
Well, I think that because of how special that double blade is, just like how special it is that Ahsoka uses two blades and they're
Yep.
curved and all that, the handles are curved and all that good stuff.
Yep.
It's having that special weapon
Yep.
that brings extra focus to it. So they, as the creators, have to pay extra focus and attention to those battle scenes to make sure that they're good.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, it's like when the Inquisitors with their little spinny sword,
Yep.
thing that they have. And when they use those things, those are usually, they're usually quick,
Oh, without a doubt, they're quick.
but they're good battles,
But Maul also uses that to his advantage because when it's 2-on-1, well, now you have that opportunity to flee and fight another day, which comes down to this whole ending of the episode, because with the Mandalorians and the Zabraks fighting the police, they're off doing their thing. Maul is doing his thing. Maul's leg, whoops, little fragile for mechanical
He has
legs.
a slight mechanical malfunction.
Little bit.
Shall we
you know?
say?
I like the fight between the three of them. And the reason is you've got a master and apprentice going after a former Sith Lord who has a lot more experience with the blade than Devin does.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't go after Devin. He goes after Daki. He puts Daki in more harm's way than Devin because obviously he wants her as an apprentice. I've said it already.
Yeah. He fights more defensively against her, whereas with Daki, he's doing a full-out offensive.
Yes. Then he also gets to the point where he's about to kill Daki, but she gets in the way.
Yep.
And he says, it is very fortunate to have her by your side. So, and again, this is the big discussion that we've been having with Maul. He has matured big time. However, he's still letting his hate and everything, his plan of revenge against Sidious be his pathway.
Oh, yeah.
But he actually respects the Jedi, which is weird. It's a different side. Like, I never thought I would see that coming from Maul.
Well, and the fact that he's not under Sidious's control anymore.
Yes, that does
gives him the ability to see that.
Yes.
And, to use it to his advantage in multiple situations that we've seen so far.
Yes. Now, instead of taking them out, Maul retreats. He says, okay, I'm out of here. Bye. And, oh, by the way, everybody else, pack it up. Let's go. Gone.
No, Spybot sees the reinforcements coming.
Yeah, we got more police coming.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, run for the border. Run for the border. However, Daki meets up with Lawson. So does Devin. And Lawson's
I like this part.
Lawson's like, why didn't you tell me that you were Jedi? I loved this wonderful back and forth. Due to the political climate, if I told you bad things were gonna happen. Which makes sense because bad shit's already happening, especially with Darth Maul around.
Right.
But
I have an issue.
What's your issue?
I have an issue here. You can't tell me, I'm sorry, but I refuse to believe the fact that Lawson did not already know that Daki was a Jedi? Ask me why do I say that?
Why?
No, ask me why do I say that?
Why do you say that?
Remember the People Bridge?
But he didn't see that. Lawson didn't see what he did.
He saw enough to be able to make the association.
Sure, it was probably there.
You know, it just, I mean, to me, it's almost like he's using Daki as a scapegoat on that. I mean, he doesn't really need to. There's no need for him to use him as a scapegoat. But I had issues with the fact that he should have at least suspected.
Yes.
Because, I mean, there was nobody else around but him and Daki. And the bridge goes up, and then as Lawson turns to look at him, the bridge drops down because Daki dropped his arms down.
Yeah.
And then he looks back again, and what happened? The two sides come back up again.
True.
And he at least saw his hands coming down. So I just have issues with that one little part of that scene.
All right. Makes sense.
But he makes up for it by letting him go.
Sure. However, that's
just me.
Not entirely the end.
No.
Because as reinforcements are coming into play and, Maul is doing his thing, trying to keep up, and he's got a little bit of a damage to his right knee there. He's got some sparks coming out, which is interesting because it actually hurts him when that happens.
I mean, he fixes it right away, too.
He does. He does. Maul uses the Force to collapse a tunnel, so that way, everybody can keep up, they can catch up, they can do what they need to do, and move on. However, due to this whole wonderful situation, Daki and Devin are on the streets. They're kind of, winded. They need to catch their breath and all of that. Chief Cleese is there checking out the building, seeing Lawson. Devin apologizes. No, sorry. Devin doesn't apologize. Daki apologizes.
To Devin.
To Devin because he thinks he failed her.
Yep. Because he did get hurt at the end of or during the battle with Maul.
He did.
Yes. Which was why Maul had the opportunity to kill him.
Yes. Now, Lawson speaks with Two Boots and says to Two Boots, I want to apologize for deactivating you. Gave him a good reason. Didn't want any Imperial entanglements. But Two Boots asked if he would, accept his apology as well and hopes that he can forgive him.
Yeah, I accept your apology, but the question is, will you accept mine?
Will you accept mine and will you forgive me?
And that's when you hear very, very light in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Woo!
Ah, yes, that wonderful warning sound when you're on the Death Star or a Star Destroyer, and it just so happens that a Imperial 1 class Star Destroyer is coming down over Janek City. And it cuts to black. Well, cuts to the stars.
Yeah.
That's the thing with Star Wars. It cuts to the stars.
Yeah, they don't fade to black. They fade to stars.
Yeah. Or they transition. They do that gradient transition to the stars.
Yes.
Which means Two Boots done bad. He was bad.
He finally said, "Screw everybody else. I'm following my protocol."
Yep. And he did. He did what he needed to do. So
I have a visitor.
you do. Kitty cat. Which one's that one? I forget.
That's Pringles.
Hi, Pringles. Go away, Pringles. We're busy.
So, very interesting episode to me.
Yes.
I mean, you saw the light and the dark side clashing in more ways than one.
Oh, big time.
You know, you saw the mental battle going on. You saw the physical battle going on. And then you saw the personal battles going on. You know, because originally Dockie's like, no, we need to get the hell out of town. Devin's like, but we can help.
Yeah.
We can bring him to justice, and actually convinces him, you know what? Yeah, we can do that. You know, and they end up getting stuck on the planet because showed up.
Yeah.
You know, I can honestly say that one of my favorite scenes of this episode was when they flash back to the ongoing battle between Maul and his henchmen and the
police,
Civil Defense League.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really cool overhead shot.
It really was.
When they flash back into that, you know, you see the lasers going one way and the other different color laser going the other way, and the light shining and everything else. And then the coolest thing to me was when Lawson saw the picture of Maul on the monitor before he crushed the little floating droid thing.
Yep.
And he looked up, and it almost looked like there was a police car that was back behind the wall, and you could see the lights flashing when the battle was going on between Maul and Dockie and Devin.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I don't know why. It's something just so simple, but I really, really liked it. And to be honest, I mean, I love the storyline. And to be totally awesome, those two reasons, those two parts in this episode have pushed me up to a 3.5.
Oh, wow.
So 3.5 lightsabers for this episode. Oh. Nakaya will not be able to grade this episode because she has not watched it.
Well, you better get cracking. You better get
She will give us her rating
that
at the beginning of next week's show.
So I am staying at a 4 for this one.
Okay.
4 lightsabers. Mostly because of where they're going with Devin, Dockie, and Maul.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
I love the interaction between them. I love that it's not just Sith versus Jedi. I love that it's a battle of wits as well as, you know, the fighting skills. But I also like that they have completely changed Maul from I'm going to be a sadistic killer who wants revenge to no, wait a minute. My revenge is going to be methodical, but I don't have an affiliation anymore. I can still respect those that came before me and their teachings. This is what I mean by knowing the light and the dark, right?
Right.
Knowing where that balance is. If you think about it, Maul is the perfect character to show a different side. And it kind of works with his double-bladed lightsaber too, because with the two blades, how do you balance that? Right in the middle, right? That's how you would balance it. If you took your finger and put it on your finger, you would be able to balance it, no problem, right?
Yeah.
So why not have someone like Maul also embrace the fact that what the Jedi teach is still good, but my teachings are better. You know?
Right. Right.
Perfect character for it. Perfect character. Especially because we know what's going to happen to Maul in the future anyway. And if you haven't watched Star Wars Rebels, you're on your own. Go watch it. But this is the perfect character for this. 4 lightsabers for me. I'm loving this series. I really am.
I am too.
I feel that you are going to break the 4 barrier eventually.
Well, it's been, and that's the thing is, as each episode's gone on and more has been revealed.
Yep.
And everything, each episode has crept up. The only time there wasn't a change was between episodes 2 and 3.
Yes.
But there wasn't a fall there either.
Now, the other thing is, even though this has to do with Maul and his revenge plot against Sidious, it's also he wants to rule the entire criminal network. The goal is for him to be in the Crimson Dawn and rule it. Which even
he
then,
wants to be the Godfather.
Yes, the Godfather. Yes, Crimson Dawn is. Woo.
Okay, the Dawn Father.
The Dawn Father. Now, again, it's not just that's not just one of the criminal empires. I mean, Crimson Dawn is just one of the many, There's another one that is prominent from Shadows of the Empire. And if you haven't read that book, I highly recommend reading it, or you can play the video game. It's entirely up to you. But Shadows of the Empire, I love it. Anyway, a lot of different criminal syndicates out there. Crimson Dawn is the big one, though. Next week, we will be going over episodes 5 and 6 of Maul, Shadow Lord. We're at that middle part where this is where I think JT is going to start going, oh, shit.
No, I've done that a couple times already.
I think it's going to be a little bit more prominent now. Especially because if you think about it, we haven't even gotten to some of the good stuff.
Right.
Now that the Empire is coming into play, the game is about to change.
Mm-hmm.
And shit's going to hit the fan big time. So make sure you guys watch episodes 5 and 6 for next week, 8 o'clock on Monday.
And 4, Nakaya.
And yes, Nakaya, you need to watch 4 as well. And then, of course, tune in tomorrow for the Sully Show at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Accidental Punch TV. That's the good. We got some good surprises. It's going to be great. I promise. You're going to love it. Gonna love it. However, until then.
Can I throw a teaser out there?
Yeah, you can throw a teaser out there.
How about a story about a real life Batman?
Ooh, a real life Batman. I'm Batman. I fight crime in Gotham. But it'll be great. But there he is. He's the redneck. Can't miss him. I myself am the geek. Oop, that's the wrong camera angle. There we go. We'll see you tomorrow for the Sully Show at 8 p.m. and next week for another 2 Ewoks in the Park. And as always, may the Force be with you.